So the next story comes from Oli C94. We can figure out the age of this author, I think.
Yeah, probably.
It is about the DM tries to make my gay PC sleep with a succubus. Tries to
Nice.
make. He's matching them up.
Shouldn't the DM be trying to make his gay PC sleep with an incubus?
So
Succubus is female, incubus is male, right?
Right.
I don't-
This
I
is
don't know.
what he is after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So he's looking
I
to try to switch him?
I don't think that it is. It works like that. That it
No.
could work like that.
I guess. I mean, they are demons. They're devils. They are meant to trick you and make you do things you wouldn't normally do, right?
Oh shit! This is going to be very very dark.
So the backstory here is I've been playing with this table for about 4 months now, and all was seemingly going great up until a few days ago. The setting of this world was a dark fantasy, but we as the heroes of the world were never the perpetrators of anything terrible. In my opinion, it was the right way to handle a gritty setting. We would spend sessions going around trying to help free slaves, rescue victims of torture camps, etc. We always felt like the heroes bravely standing in the face of injustice. I like that kind of game. That's kind of my method. My character, a human warlock, Pact of the Fiend, was gay. It had never really come up in the game before this and wasn't really a romance-heavy table, but it had been written into his backstory since session 0 with mentions of having ex-boyfriends. His backstory, as it has some relevance, is that he had made a deal with a mysterious demon who he didn't know after his family was killed, and he was on a mission of revenge. Yada yada, very normal, edgy D&D backstory. There were 3 other PCs at the table, all who seemed like decent enough people. I joined the campaign through one of my friends who was a PC and had never met the DM before, but he seemed like a normal enough guy. I'm guessing he wasn't. My bold prediction.
Who seemed like a normal guy. Wink wink.
Famous last words in horror stories.
Spoiler alert.
Here's where the story gets weird. Last session, we were doing some investigating of a demonic presence in a small town in the woods. After some digging, discovered a small group of succubi living in the mayor's basement. Where else would they live but the mayor's basement? I'd look there first. Always the politicians that are causing trouble, right?
In their bedrooms as well, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
The second choice.
All is well so far. We venture down into the basement and start a fight with the succubi, and it's going fine until the DM mentions that the leader of the succubi uses the draining kiss ability on me and mentions,
You feel a connection beyond something just magical.
Weird. My first thought is I'm about to slaughter this succubus anyway, so whatever that weird comment was, it won't matter in about 5 minutes. I like this, the way this person thinks. I really do. But then he starts making me, just me, make charisma saving throws, even when I'm not charmed by her anymore. If I want to attack her, because...
I just can't bear hurting that pretty face.
Well, the fight continues until the leader is the last one standing. And that's when the DM, as this succubus, drops the bombshell that she purposefully lured the party to this house because she is my warlock's patron and has a deep obsession with me and has fallen madly in love with me. The DM then gives my character an ultimatum. I either have to sleep with the succubus to maintain the deal I made with her, or my character will lose his pact and have to start over as a level 1 fighter.
How about the pact? Does he have the right to do so? I mean, if you are a warlock, probably your patron could do that. I never thought about this. Can a patron be firstly attached to you in this way? But if she is a succubus, maybe she can be?
So if your patron says no more powers for you if you don't do this, then I would say yes.
But if we reverse, if it is incubus and you are forced to do that as a warlock, I think I will pass.
Yeah, I would,
Feels-
but you're not stripping levels from a player in that case. If you change, they would become a fighter or a rogue or whatever. I would let them pick what they change to as they're not a warlock anymore, but they would be the same level they were before. This feels a little too much like taking too much agency from the player. At this point, I'm trying to argue above the table that this isn't fair and that he knows it would be out of character for him to go through with this. But my DM is saying that it's, quote,
time for the party to experience some of the horrors that the rest of my world has.
which is insane. It's not really that insane. It's heavy-handed. But you wanted this dark fantasy horror world. Dark fantasy horrors are going to happen. So I don't think it's that insane. I don't really like it. I would do it a different way.
There are more insane things than that. That's
Yeah,
real.
definitely. We've seen so many more insane things than this in the horror stories. I tried to remind my DM that my PC is gay and even tried to convince him to have the succubi shapeshift into a male form, but he argued back that
A demon as powerful as her wouldn't take requests from mortals.
so I was stuck. You're not stuck. You still have the choice to say no and come back as whatever, fighter, rogue, whatever the DM allows you to come back. I wouldn't make you come back as level 1. That's dumb. You're how many levels behind the rest of the party then? That's ridiculous.
Would she level up faster than the rest of the party in this case? Because if they are in experience points, she can, or he, I don't know, well, whatever. The player could gain levels much faster, but if it is arc, then what? she's forever useless in the party. So there is
Yeah.
no point in continuing playing in this game.
I feel like the whole you go back to level 1 thing is to force them to do what this DM wants them to do, which is sleep with the succubus.
Or roll new character,
Yeah.
basically.
I sometimes when characters die in games, I'll have them come back 1 level below the other players. And then after a session, I'll have them level up to the same. That gives them a little chance to learn their character before they level up again. But then they're on the same milestone with everybody else. So this is the point where I stood up and told the DM that I think our visions for my character do not align and that I was going to have to leave the table. He started backtracking and trying to convince me that we could make it work, saying,
You just had to trust him with the story. Everything will work out, but you've got to just power through this section.
it's the DM version of it's what my character would do.
It's what my world will do.
You're just getting campaigned by my campaign. I agree. I would be done at this point too. I'm not just powering through your weird fantasy just because, right? You've given me no other option. Except start over at level 1, which is ridiculous. So I walked away, and the last thing I heard was him calling me a
wussy.
as I walked out the front door. My friend texted me later and said the DM continued to insult me as the game went on. They finished out the session, but have also decided to leave after that ordeal. Bravo to the rest of the group for standing up for your friend. The moral of the story, never let your DM design your warlock's patron for you. If he says he has a really cool idea at session 0, do not listen.
Well, this is generalization as well. It depends on DM. It could be better for the story, but I think that this is one of the perks of being Warlock, to design your own patron. But DM can have some advices, because if you pick a patron, the DM controls it. Controls him or her. So if you picked up a succubi, well, the DM controls.
I've designed warlock patrons for people before. Sometimes they've said, I don't care who my patron is, but this is my subclass that I'm choosing Archfey or I'm choosing Celestial. And you can decide who it is, but within that guideline. They're a celestial patron. They get to play the character the way they want to, and I get to have a little bit of fun with their patron who they don't necessarily know who it is at the time. I don't like the DM in this one. I don't like the way they handled it, and I definitely don't like the fact that they badmouth this player after they were gone from the table.
If you liked this story, let us know that you liked it as much as we did, commenting it and bringing wisdom.
That's what we get when we're old. We get wisdom, and we lose everything else. Dexterity, all of that. That's gone. Constitution, strength. Yeah. All right. Our next horror story comes from Carnson, and it's called The DM Thinks That My Character is Unrealistic. Let's find out what he means by unrealistic, considering it's probably in a TTRPG and there are no barbarians running around on Earth. So
Most likely we are talking about the D&D, I can assume. What about all of those warlocks? Do they look realistic? This happened back in 2019, but I finally found a place to share with the TTRPG players. I found an online party running a homebrew campaign. The party consisted of 3 girls, including me, 2 dude, and a DM, which is also a dude. Session 0 rolled. I played as a human fighter in his mid-50s. The DM looked at my character sheet and asked me,
are you really sure that you're gonna play as a dude?
That's a bit odd for me, but I just shrugged and said, why not? Well, I wouldn't ask this question. Yeah, if she wants
Yeah, I
to
don't
play
care.
as a...
I think maybe mid-50s is more questionable to me than male or female. I mean, that's pretty old for if you're considering this like a medieval type thing, especially for humans. But even then, I've seen people play older characters and do it well. I don't really care.
That fighter must have seen some tough shit in his life.
I think it's hard to explain how your fighter is 50 years old and level 1, though. Like maybe it's like, you remember the old Clint Eastwood movies where like Unforgiven or something? He's older in that. And then he goes after all of them.
He was a simple farmer before they had murdered his hamster.
Fluffy.
Revenge. Well, session from 1 to 3 went smoothly until the session 4. We were trapped in Feywild, and the wacky magic that Fey made, the party's gender swapped. The sorcerer became a girl, bard became a dude, yada yada. My character also got turned into a chick, but here's the thing. After a while, DM said that the curse faded from everyone except me. Well, now that is taking agency out from the player.
Yeah.
He cannot do that.
No.
Force them switch.
No, that's not
genders
cool.
Is bullshit.
Yeah, he didn't want her to play a man, so he forced it in the game. That's not cool.
He told me that because my character doesn't have magic, the curse will last longer compared to others. Makes sense, I guess, so I just rolled with it. We all know what it was, okay?
Yeah.
She will stay girl up to the end of the game. Session 5 passed. Session 6. My character still hasn't turned back. I directly asked the DM why character hasn't turned back yet. He told me that
It fits you as a player better this way. Playing character opposite to my gender is unrealistic.
the other girl chimed in saying that the voice that I made for my character sounds nothing like a guy and made everyone uncomfortable.
So the other players are even mad at her for playing a guy.
Yeah.
At least one of them.
They teamed up.
I don't get that.
Getting it up. Of course, it's gonna be nothing like a scruffy dude because I ain't a guy IRL. DM told me to either continue playing with realistic character or he'll kick me out of Discord server. No need to say, I immediately left the server. D&D is just plain pretend with more complicated stuff after all. It's like their pink 6-feet dragonic sorcerer tiefling is so realistic. She got mad.
I don't blame her.
She mistyped all the last sentence as well.
I've had players in games do voices that were really weird and off-putting. Usually the players will take care of it. Like I had one guy, he played a bard and a wood elf bard, and he basically tried to use a Scottish accent for the wood elf bard, but he wasn't very good at it. And all the players started calling him Lucky Charms because the character from the Lucky Charms cereal, I don't know if you've ever seen the commercials, they're magically delicious. He has like a Irish accent. Accent went away almost immediately.
I think that I will have some hard time playing somebody from Hollywood, I guess.
You don't have to worry
Maybe
about
from
your
Michigan
accent.
as well.
I think your accent is fine.
I will always play tieflings whose language is devilish, demonic,
Infernal.
and common is going to be their second language.
Needless to say, I agree with the writer. This DM shouldn't have forced her to play a girl character. It doesn't matter. Just tell her don't use a voice. If you can't do a realistic old man voice or older man voice, then don't.
You don't have to act. It is not theater if you don't want to do.
Yeah, you don't have to do voices. Could you imagine somebody doing like a whiny goblin voice for the whole campaign?
Yeah, I guess it's not going to be all that pleasant to other people.
He shouldn't have made her switch. He should have just said, you know what, the voice is bothering people, so just don't do the voice. We get it that you're a 50-year-old guy. We can pretend, because that's what we're doing. We're playing pretend.
Well, for me, if the Scottish accent would be understandable.
Done right, it would be hard. I mean, the other option is she could get a voice changer or some kind of software to talk into through her mic that modifies her voice. It sounds like they're playing over Discord. I'm sure there are free ones out there that'll do a good enough job. I don't really use them because I don't care. I don't need to hear some weird voice to picture you as your character.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed that horror story, and Alex, who read it so masterfully, and me, who did this girl's voice as a man, so please don't at me. I know I'm a man. She's a girl. I can't do her voice, so I didn't. But if you liked all of that, give us a like, and we'll keep doing this. Otherwise, if you don't like and subscribe, we're going to use a Lucky Charms voice.